Hi you guys, it's Mrs. C here. Just wanted to take a minute to show you how I like to organize my year for CC. I know last year was my first year and I was a little overwhelmed with everything that I needed to do and what I needed to print out and how I needed to organize it, and so I just thought I'd take a minute and show you what worked really well for me. This is just my system. You don't have to do it. So whatever you find works well for you, go for it. But if you're like me and feel a little lost, here's maybe a place to get started and you can adapt it from there. So last year what I did is I had one of these big crates that you can find everywhere right now because it's college dorm season. And I have a hanging file for each week in there. And I'm a person who likes to organize for the whole year and print off for the whole year, or at least by semester, because I like to sit down and just do it all at once and have it and know that it's ready to go. If you like to do it week by week, that's fine. If you like to do it 6 weeks at a time, whatever works for you. I like to print off the whole year if I can. So in each of those hanging folders, so I've got this one pulled out here. So in each of those, I have our memory work wall papers. So on CC Connected, which if you don't have a membership, I highly recommend getting one. I use a lot of materials off of there. You don't have to have one. You can do CC without it perfectly fine, but there are many talented people, much more talented than I, who have put things on there that have just made my life a lot easier, and this is one of them. So they have papers for all of memory work printed off. This is all from Cycle 2 because this is my Cycle 2 one. But that are printed, or not printed, but that are already on there that I printed off. So every week I would put them in on my memory work wall, and we would have all of our memory work up displayed in our home, which was really nice for my kids so they can all kind of see it, and nice for me because I'm a visual person. I like to see that up there just kind of all throughout the day. So that was in one folder. I tutored last year for the last half of the year, so I also have a folder in here that's my tutor folder. So any kind of materials that I got in tutor training, or any kind of notes that I took, any printables that I needed for art or science, I keep in this folder. And so I would have this folder for class, and when I got home I filed it in week 17, so that's what week this is, and that way next time around Cycle 2, if I'm tutoring again, I have all of those notes. And even if I'm teaching a different class, I will at least have some basis to start off with what I did, so they don't have to start from scratch. So I'm excited about that. And then the last thing I have in here is my daughter's work. I just have one in CC right now. So this is Ella's folder. So at the beginning, before we went through the week, it had empty pages in it of things that I printed out. Again, most of them from CC Connected, but it had things like, let me see if I can find one in here. Of course, this is like not going to have any in it. Okay, here we go. Things like handwriting work that she did, science pages, notebooking pages, and then as we did those pages and as she did her math and reading, things like that that aren't necessarily specific to CC, but as we did those for the week, that all got put into this folder. How I kept track of her work is we had a binder that she picked out red because that's what she liked. So we've got a binder. It's a Cycle 2 on it. You don't have to do that. I think originally I thought I'd keep all of hers in one binder, but that's not what I'm going to do anymore. But we print these. These are the Fridge Facts sheets, which are really awesome. I love them so much. And that would go for each week. We would put that on the front, so she would have this as a reference. So even if she wasn't right next to her memory work wall, she always had this with us because all of her work was in here. So if we went to the doctor, went on a trip, or went to my mom's, she had this with her. So inside, obviously, I haven't filed everything yet. We should probably take this out and file it. But inside, we have the days of the week each year, and I would go through and put her work in each day. So, you know, Mondays we did, let's say, geography and math, and Tuesdays were our community days, so we didn't usually have anything other than math work in there. Wednesdays we did Latin and timeline. We just had pages for each of those. We worked on a separate one each day, and then, of course, we were always reviewing memory work. But what I would do is in the front part of this pocket folder, this would be the work she hadn't done. When she completed it, it would go on the back side. This has a pocket in it, too. And then at the end of the week, I could gather up all the pages from the back side, and I would take them, stick them in this folder and file them back in my box. So that worked really well for us last year. It was an easy way for me to keep track of what she had done, what she hadn't done. It gives me something easy to reference, to kind of see you know, where we were with everything, and it'll give me something if I ever need to go back and document anything. I've got all of that in there. I was gonna say, I was gonna show you how I'm gonna do it this year. So that crate was a little difficult to get in and out of last year, just because of where I store it. So I found this year at Aldi for $4. So I was pretty stoked about that. But inside, it has exactly 24 slots. It's like it was made for CC. I was so excited. So right now, I have all of my memory work or wall stuff in there. That's a good look. All that in there, and I'll print Ella's notebooking pages. And I did check, and this does also fit manila folders. So I will do the manila folders again, but just try to do it in here. And maybe this will be a little more toteable, more accessible. We'll see if it holds up to all the papers that I print. So the last thing I wanted to show you really quick is how I organize my timeline cards. I know a lot of you have timeline cards and either don't use them because they're not accessible and easy to use, or use them and they get lost or whatever. So here's how I organize mine. This works really well for tutoring because I can just grab what I need for the week the night before. So I have this big, huge recipe box here. I ordered it off of Amazon. I want to say it's a 5x8. I will measure and let you know for sure. But I also found all of these number dividers, which I was really excited about, because most of the ones that I found originally were just A, B, C, D, and I mean, that's fine, but I'm just kind of, I don't know, OCD and wanted it to have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's really simple. Inside, if you want to look at timeline for week 8, you go to 8 and you pull them out. If you want to look at timeline for week 18, you go to 18 and pull them out. And I have them all divided in there. So it makes it really easy when I'm tutoring and as we're pulling them out for the week to grab just what I need, the exact right ones. And they're really easy to pull back because I just pull them out in a chunk and put them back in a chunk. So that's pretty easy. I will show you really quick. I'm going to walk into my kitchen. Please ignore everything on the counter. But I'm going to walk into my kitchen and I will show you where our memory work wall is. And I also ask you to excuse my very loud children. I'm amazed that they still have this much energy after our community day. So this is my memory work wall. And you can see I have shop tickets that I bought. They are the landscape ones, which I like because all of my pages are landscape, although you can print them in portrait mode if you like. And I printed the headings too from CC Connected. They were already in a file there. And then this right up here is my favoriteest thing ever. This is a restaurant ticket holder, and it holds exactly 7 timeline cards, and they just slide up in there. So there's no damage to my card done. You can still read everything. You can pull them down easily. But this is where we usually have our memory work. Ella probably very soon will be putting ours up from today. That's one of her favorite things to do, is put it up there, which is great for me because I kind of hate taking them in and out. So anyway, that's how I organize my year. Again, do what works best for you. If you find that going week by week is the easiest for you, then do it. If you find doing the whole